going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Drop Dead Fred Show. I'm your host, Simeon. I have my first solo episode. I'm super excited. I'm gonna let the music play out real quick and we're gonna get right into it. Let's go. Out of the way. Put a hood on 100 round. He's never 30, now he's on the ground. You can still clear the bottom of the cup. I'm full of smoke and I can still stand up. Skibbity-doo, bye. Whoa. So, real quick, I just wanted to throw this in here. I was thinking of this. In case you don't know, which you don't. That music that I play, usually always in the beginning, but, you know, depending on the person I'll have on, I might have their music. If I have a certain song that I think would sound good as an intro or outro, I might have their music playing just to try to help them and try to promote that music, obviously. But this music that I try to play as like the main intro of the show was his one of 3 songs that he has recorded total off of his EP that I got onto DSPs. He passed away in probably 2006 or 2007. I was real young, but after he affected the family real heavy, and then after I got to find out more about him and with him being involved with music and me being involved with music, it was something that I was able to connect with him and with him out without him being here. So I'll get more into the Drop Dead Fred thing as we move on and as we grow this whole thing. I have ideas and I have plans with it, but just a small sprinkle. It is paying homage to my cousin, R.I.P. Rest in peace. Hope you're up there, not thinking I'm making a fool of this, because I really like where it's going. I really enjoy sitting down and talking to artists. I have got to sit down with one artist that I didn't really know, and now I've grown to know him even more. And then the rest of them I knew, but I have artists coming up that I'm not very familiar with. I just happened to meet them, so it's all going to be new and exciting, hopefully. But it's been rough the past couple months trying to get this thing started and get episodes down. Getting an episode done wouldn't be so hard. It's the scheduling, meeting up with the artist, and just getting it all out there. So I don't want to sit there and bullshit you and say, oh, I'm so busy and I really am working hard. I haven't been doing shit with the podcast. A little bit more with music, not as much as I want to be. But then again, my life surrounds around the wants and needs of my family, and that's not a bad thing. That's a very good thing in my opinion. It's just all about making sure there's enough time in the day to get it all done. And that's what I'm figuring out right now. And everybody else should figure that out too. But in my own shit, it's figuring out how to take advantage of all 24 hours of this day that we have and that we're given from God. So trying to do that, and then trying to just move and get more podcasts done. I have a whole week open right now that I'm trying to get as many episodes done so I can stack up a couple episodes and then try to get some video episodes for you too. I just felt like recording one. We just had a bunch of artists, including me, that were a part of a show that somebody put on. I'll get into that. The 2 episodes before this, he should have been on. His name's Young E. I sat down with him. He threw a show. It went very well. It went very good. It was just yesterday. I am recording this on Saturday, July 26th. It's 9:40. So yesterday at this time, I was there. I haven't even performed my set yet at that time, so it hasn't even for real been 24 hours. And I'm just trying to get the basic coverage on this because it was very promising. Not my set per se. I'm not going to sit there and beat around the bush. I'm not going to sit there and pity myself and be like, oh, it sucked. It wasn't what I expected, and I'll have more performances and I'll get better. That's my first time I performed in a year. Almost a year. Not quite a year. But it's been a couple months since I performed. It's been a good 9 months, probably closer to 10 already, months since I performed. So I was a little rusty, but I'll get it back. But just as far as the show itself, this Young E, plug him right now. He's working hard in Johnstown. He said it himself, and I can't even disagree. He thinks he's one of the hardest working artists in the 814 right now, I can't disagree with the man because he's doing music videos, he's doing studio sessions, he's doing his own free music videos where he does top of the cities, and he gets with artists that he thinks are good or that he likes in general, and he shoots a video for them on top of the city with an open mic type of deal. He's been doing a bunch of those in the past, even like that just came out a month ago, and he's had over 10 episodes. So he's just grinding, man. This man Young E is just grinding. And that being said, I met him a year ago, probably more, 2 years ago even. And we were getting together to do shows with this thing called Project 814, and it fell through. Blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna get too much into that, but that being said, like when it did fall through, the main thing that fell through with them was the disconnect between. I thought that we should do a free show. I thought it'd be better. I think it'd be good for exposure. I think we could find a way to still fund ourselves as artists and make money as artists throwing free shows because we're at a point in our career where we need the exposure. And that's just something that most people agreed on. And this year turned around and it seemed like it really, really showed. I mean, E decided to throw a free show, and I had numbers given to me that there was upwards of like 400 people. I think it might be a little less than that, but the venue only held like 100 people at a time, and only I would say maximum of 75 people at one time was in there because of how hot it was. So I'm talking about the parking lot was packed the entire night, full. It looked like this place called Mexico City that we used to hang out at in the high school days. It's up in Johnstown at the Walmart, in between the Walmart and the Sheets. And it looked like that. The parking lot looked like that. It was full of cars, people hanging out outside, people hanging out downstairs. It was a good vibe all night. The artists coming out. I only got to see a couple people perform their whole sets because I was running around the whole night. But every single person that I walked past, when I was like, I always stopped and looked at the artists performing too to just check out they were on. Every artist was clutch tonight. Like, shout out to every single artist that came through, did their thing, performed, did their best, sat there and connected, tried to network, all that. We had a dude named Fission Sounds, and he was straight with the networking. He was super humble, tried to connect with every artist he could, try to make any connections. And that's the way you need to be as a businessman in music or just as an artist in music, because us as artists are businessmen too. And that's the thing that always gets me is like this closed-minded shit is like, bro, you never know who you're going to meet on the way down. So just keep that in mind. Try to treat everybody with a open heart and an open mind because, like, virtue is key. Virtues are key, bro. And, like, virtues are love, and virtues are something to be admired, bro. And if you don't have good discipline in your life and you can't show that, then it's very easy for somebody that does to see that and just to move past it. So, especially in this game, bro. So, like, definitely try to, like, give the real you out there and try to actually give it all that you can, because we're here to serve. Like, we're not better than anybody. Like, coming up here with the mentality like, fuck everybody, I'm the best, that's the mindset you should have. But you should also be ready to give the shirt off your back to nobody, like, nobody special just because they need something. Like, out of the love of your heart. Like, you should be able to do that. Be able to look in their eyes and see it. They actually need it. See it. They be the type of person that deserves it, and do that for them, and actually show love. And I've seen very, very many instances where that doesn't happen. And not even for me personally. I've watched it happen to other people that are good people. And that being said, like, with all that being mixed in the pot, it made it very difficult for artists to actually put on a show. And I've had talk in my ear saying that you could try to put all these artists together. You could try to get everybody together and do a show, but it ain't going to work. This ain't going to work. That going to work. And they are right. Many instances it didn't. But in this scenario, he decided that it was not going to be an option for it not to happen. And that's exactly how he delivered it. He was like, I want to do a show on the 25th on my birthday. It has to be on my birthday. And he called everywhere, and to the point where he almost gave up. And then he found a spot in Altoona. And keep in mind, that's a whole almost hour away from where most of us live in Johnstown. So most of our main crowd We had to get people to drive an hour away. So I'm not familiar with how many people that were out there from Johnstown and how many people were out there from Altoona. So that I'm not really sure where that correlated, how many people actually made that trip. So if you really made that trip the whole way out there, it's not that far, I get, but still it's a good hour drive. So if you made that whole way out there just to listen to some music, man, definitely big props to you, and just keep in touch and keep your eyes on what everybody got going on in the future, because there should be a lot more of this type of deal going on. So huge props to the people that pulled out. I call them fans. I would call them just people. That's what all we are, is just people. Because the biggest thing is life sucks and then you die. So like, there's no point to be a bitch. There's no point to be such a snob, like such a fucking just asshole. There's no reason for that. Life sucks and then you die. All right. So the only thing you should be worrying about is who you are. So you being so concerned about everybody else is very apparent. Like, if you walk around concerned about everybody else, it's super fucking apparent. And I ain't trying to get too far on a high horse or anything like that, because I'm not perfect. I'm a piece of shit. And I'm in no way to talk. But I just feel like realness and real, not vulnerability, but real gratitude and love should be treasured more than it is. And I wish and I hope in the future that it is, because that's really at the point, one of the reasons why it was so hard for the show to even happen. Because people will do anything they want to do to make you fall, to make you fail, to make you cease to be around. And that's just like, it hurts my heart for real, because if you know who you are as a person, you think the world could be better than it is. And somebody at some point is going to have to show you, unfortunately, or maybe a good friend will tell you and you'll believe them, that that's not how the world works, and that's not how everybody's going to treat you. You being a good person won't get you farther, because somebody else is going to take advantage of that. So unfortunately, you have to play their game as well. And that's just something that watching this shit play out and watching this show happen, it was a real learning experience, because I was there every step of the way, you know, but I didn't really have to I didn't have to dig my feet in the pot a lot at all. So like, I was trying to be there for E, trying to help him any way he needed, but I was pretty much just hearing everything that was going on in the process. So I wasn't really anything special to this. But that being said, I can vouch for him when I say it takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of effort to put this shit on. So like, that circles back around to what I said about life sucks and then you die. So just do what you love. Like, down to it, we're trying to pull a crowd out of people, and I hope that everybody that was there that came and saw the show, I hope that everybody came with this exact vibe that I'm about to explain, just wanting to listen to some good music, just wanting to vibe out with people, just wanting to have a good time, just wanted to be themselves, you know, wasn't trying to hide behind some fake mask, hide behind some persona of like, I'm this or I'm that. And just really just being them, not technically being vulnerable, but being in the moment, I would say. Really, really being in the moment and honing that moment. Because yesterday, I watched a lot of artists, bro, that were just killing the moment. They were killing it, bro. Like, on stage, rapping, and you could see, like, the certain people that they were connecting with in the crowd. And that's what I mean by killing it. Like, they were making waves happen with people. Like, they were really, like, people were on there like, I really mess with this guy. Like, who is this dude? Or maybe they already knew the person. I don't know. Like, I don't know these people, but they were killing it on stage. Every artist I walked on and saw, they were killing it, bro. So huge props to all of them. Huge props to everybody. So just do what you love, man. Like, that's what he did. He really wanted to do this. He wants to perform. He likes performing. So he figured, oh, I could book a venue, get a bunch of artists to perform, pull out a big crowd, and I could give everybody a good set, and then I could give myself a bigger set, because I'm putting all this work in, obviously, right? You do all the work, you get a bigger slice. So he can get a big set for himself. And that, what I realized with E set, because I filmed some, I saw some footage too, what I was explaining about the parking lot being full in the heat, is people were going up and down. So the crowd was switching out constantly. It was a different crowd in the same room constantly, because they were going up and out. And people were hanging out outside, people were hanging out inside. having such a long set being said, he had the opportunity that he probably got seen by everybody that was in that area, everybody that was in that whole entire parking lot and downstairs area in that 45-minute span, which was really good for him. It was very smart for him because he had a hot time too. So there was a lot of thought process put into this and trying to figure it all out right. And I think it's really big props, bro. If you were there and you did not shout him out yet, you did not hit him up and be like, bro, props for doing this, because it takes a lot of work, bro. So that was huge. I had a fun time. I really enjoyed my song with him I did with Sweet Nothings. I enjoyed most of my set. I was real tired. I had a bad headache, so I was trying to be in it, and I wasn't quite as in it as I wanted to be. But yo, if you were there, you saw me, I appreciate everybody that I saw said that they thought I did great, and obviously that's hard to hear as an artist no matter what. So if I threw it off, I'm sorry, but that's just how I am, critical and all that. But I promise there's going to be more shows. We're definitely trying to turn up. We're trying to get the rust off right now, trying to scrape it off. And then right now this week, I'm trying to work on some music, and I'm trying to work on some podcasts. So I'm doing this tonight. I'm going to try to get this uploaded pronto. I ain't trying to make this super long. I don't know how long I could drag this out solely. I have not done a cut yet, which really when I just a little background and idea real quick. When I do cuts, it's only because like they forgot something they have to look up on their phone per se, or they need to go to the bathroom, they need a drink, they just say something random. I really like the authenticity of the way I've been rolling. In case you're wondering how I'm going about this, if you wanted to do podcasting or if you're trying to get into it too, I don't know if I'm doing it right, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to take a topic that I find interesting, which would be the person, write a list of subgenres, subtopics on that person, and then kind of memorize that through my head. And then when I sit down with them, just generate a conversation like I would on a normal basis that I am curious already about them. And it's worked out pretty good so far with the past couple episodes that I've done. I know that I'm planning, if everything goes right, you should be listening to this, and then the next a couple hours or the next day after, you should be listening to Young JT getting sat down with me in the podcast studio for the first time. He's somebody that was performing with me the year before, so we have a lot of good chemistry. We're cool with each other. He's a great man. I'm really excited for his future in music, so I'm definitely excited to sit down with him, and if all else goes well, we'll just have a run of episodes after that. Probably gonna get, if it's a rerun, it's probably gonna be E. I might sit down with E and also Shish at the same time, and maybe even Trevi. We'll see how the mics goes. We might just pass the mics around if we have to do that, because they were all there, we're all tight, and maybe just do a big one of a recap of the show and see what else everybody got planned for the next couple months. Maybe do a little quick sit down with them. But besides that, I have a lot of new artists that I met yesterday that we're all talking about getting on the show. Just quick shout out everybody that was on that flyer. So I don't know, I might fork this up. I may mess up here. But we got shout out Andrew Films right now for all the photography. We had a Ange Michelle singer. We had Ashanti. We had Baby Slabs. Shout out the sound engineer. That's Cam with a K. Huge shout out Cam with a K. That's E's brother. He probably had they could fight over this, I'm not sure. He probably had close to, if not exactly 50% as much to do with this as Evan. They really tied in together and made all this shit happen. So huge shout out him for real. We had Sheet Chapo. He performed. We had this dude, Deshaun Lieb. I did not get to catch your performance, but I'm sure we probably passed each other, and I'm sure it was hard. So huge shout out to him. Huge shout out to my boy Ethan Christie. He's somebody I knew too. I got to see him perform for sure. He definitely killed it. G Helbig, he made the I think he either flew. He definitely flew in from somewhere. He's in the military, so shout out G Helbig. Thanks for being in the military. Thank you for your service. and he flew in just to do the show. So I think he brought some people too. Like I think he actually pulled a decent crowd out. So huge shout out him. Big shout out Jobin 4K. He killed it. He started with that Lions Den joint. That one was definitely hard. We had Fission Sound. That'd be Mr. Tremble, Mr. Caden Tremble. Huge shout out to you. Made everything sound amazing, of course, obviously. Then we had No Label. I was impressed with No Label. I had no idea who this guy was. He had mad energy on stage, man. I listened to most of his set. It was either right after that, a little bit after that, or a little bit before that. We had Pretend Life is Very Good. That's PLVG. I call him Plug. I don't know why, because it looks like Plug when I see it. Of course, we have my boy Shish Kanak in the building. Shish Kebab, Shish Kanak, because he's always cooking. He killed his set. One of my favorite songs, Bros, man. He fucking killed that song. We had Trevi. Trevi performed late. I call him Trevi. His name is Lovesick. You know, he was on episode 3 or episode 4 of the Drop Dead Fred show. Huge shout out, Lovesick. Everybody, he would perform super late, but everybody got super turned when Trevi performed. So huge shout out him. We had Young JT. Young JT took the cake, bro. No lie. Young JT, everybody, we had an artist show up late, and intermission got pushed back. We had a couple things happen, which happens in shows. So the show ended up dragging out mad late, and my boy Young JT had to wait in that green room and sweat out, and then he performed mad late. So I'm definitely gonna have to make it a good show episode for him, because I know he really, and I saw the video of him performing. He kills it. That's the number one thing about an artist. If you're not performing in front of a huge crowd because it's late, you're not performing in front of a huge crowd because of a bad turnout, something happens, whatever happens, bro, you need to give your best on that stage. And him doing that, man, bro, I saw a video. He was killing it on stage, and then in the crowd there was like 2 people. I'm sure it was a huge space, and it was a close-up shot. So I'm sure there was more people in the back. But the point being is he had so much energy, and nobody was not there because they didn't want to see him. The reason he was last on the list is because he was supposed to bring out the most people. So, but it ended up dragging out so late that people ended up leaving. It was hot and all that. It was a long ass show, man. I ain't gonna lie. So the fact that it ran as smooth and good as long as it freaking did, bro. And I left early, so I'm sure it was still turned after I left, bro. But the amount of people that pulled out, the amount of energy that was there, the amount of good energy that was with all the artists, down to the last performer, bro, down to JT, and he was like, bro, I saw his video. He pulled out mad energy on stage. So huge shout out JT, of course. Let's keep this rolling. We had YSNC. Shout out DJ Zay Brick. Shout out Kels. My bad. I'm getting. Shout out Mars. Shout out Remdot. We got Mir Exclusive. I might have messed that name up. Maybe not. No, I don't think I messed that up. We got, and then, yeah, I think Mars is just Mars, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, you heard that. I probably missed, I think I got Mess Geo, too. Shout out Mess Geo. But, you just heard, that was a huge, just for reference. Yeah, that was like 5 minutes of just running off names with a little bit rants in between. But huge shout out everybody that performed, man. That was like really great. So just watching everybody, there's so many people likewise that just want to go out there and do what they love and show their passion for this and just like show that they got what it takes, man. That's not easy. So I really just wanted to make this real quick. I just had the little spurt of like, I just want to do an audio. That's the thing I love about podcasting. Like I was getting back to, like, if you want to start a podcast or something, like, it's good to even have that vocal down and getting used to this type of deal, because this is how the world's turning. So knowing how to talk and knowing how to be a person and being a real person instead of just somebody that's trying to be something behind a mic or be something behind a camera is important. So if I could just plug in here, no camera, just a microphone talking, I'm just like talking what I really think, then it's a lot more comfortable for me, especially like as I move on and I actually get artists that I don't even know, that I'm just not too familiar with. I just listen to some of their music. It's going to be a big leap. So all that being said, man, it was a great show. We got more planned. I know that most of those artists were performing in other shows that were in Altoona and Johnstown. Like, there's been a lot of rap going on in in the Johnstown area, and I'm really excited to see more of it happen. And we got word in that I think the DJ, I think multiple people were saying that it was probably one of the best, one of the biggest shows that they saw independently done by an artist. Like, a huge shout out E. Like, huge shout out E, huge shout out Cam. Like, Fish and Sounds, DJ Zibrick, all the artists, everybody there. Like, everybody that made it happen, everybody that made it what it is, bro. Huge shout out you. Shout out Arts Altoona. They were the venue that let us hold the space. Great venue. Besides it being hot, which they couldn't control, that's God, and we thank God because we need weather, So we're grateful that we were even able to be there. It was great. So I hope to connect with all y'all soon. I hope to be around and be in the community, in the 814, trying to make my moves, trying to make stuff happen, trying to meet new people, and trying to branch out too once I get more episodes under my belt of talking to just people that are doing positive things in general. Because like I said, do what you love, and then like life sucks and then you die. Like the whole point of that is like, bro, like it's short. So there's no point of, if life's gonna suck, it might as well be sucking doing something you like. Because like even what you like's gonna suck. Like a prime example, last night of me being rusty on stage, me having a headache, me not being like in the mode, not in the zone, but I know I loved it. I was so fucking hyped. Like today I got home, I'm so hyped looking at pictures, and I thought I cooked my performance, but me being in that atmosphere is what I loved. I love being around the entertainment atmosphere and just watching people do themselves. Pause. But just watching people just do them, and just be happy about it and not give a fuck about what anybody thinks. So just shout out everybody that made that happen, and shout out everybody that did that. If you were really there doing your own thing, believing in yourself, not taking shit from no one, then huge shout out you, man. You need that in your life. That's something you need in your life. So, I really hope that everybody's doing good. I really hope that everybody's staying blessed. We got music on the way. I got projects I'm working on, so just stay tuned. I'll be trying to drop more singles every week. Stay looking for videos for content. Stay looking for new artists I'm going to be interviewing. Look out for the JT, obviously, right away. Do what you love what you do, keep going. And I just hope that everybody just honestly can take this and run with it however they got to, but just try to understand where I'm coming from with it. Like, just trying to be like, you know what? He got something there. Somebody told him that, and he's repeating it to me, and I think I believe it. Because I get it. I'm a dumbass, but you don't got to listen to me. Just listen to the person that said it to me. Somebody said it to me. Somebody told it to them. It went on and on and on. So, vice versa. Do what you love. Love what you do. I'll catch you guys next time on a Drop Dead Fresh show. Peace, y'all.
Stallone and Russell like the tango and get cash. I'm moving slow, I got a pack, I got like 30 on the dash. And I don't know what's in your blood, so homie, I'ma have to pass. Keep saying my music trash while your shotty shaking ass. Woo! I swear I'm sober, but I'm rolling off a bean. I know I heard